If you found the intercepts for y equals negative 3x plus 1. So for the x-intercept, remember we're going to plug in 0 for y. So when we do that, we get 0 equals negative 3x plus 1. So we need to get x by itself. So first thing I'm going to do is subtract 1 from both sides of the equal sign. And you get negative 1 equals negative 3x. And then to get x by itself, let's divide both sides by negative 3. And you get x equals, and then just be careful with your signs. A negative 1 divided by a negative 3 is a positive 1/3. Okay, let's go ahead and find the y-intercept. And in this case, for the y-intercept, you let x equal 0, which basically means the term with a variable x in it goes away. So you just have 0 plus 1, which is 1. So y equals 1. So this is the point 0, 1. And I forgot to write the point over here. This is the point 1/3, comma 0. So remember, these are both points, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So let's go ahead and graph these 2 points. Draw my straight lines. And we're going to go ahead and label this. I'm going to count by 1. So there's 1 and there's 1. Now to graph 1/3, 0, I'm just going to have to go break up between 0 and 1 into thirds and try and best I can pick out where 1/3 is. And then 0, 1 would be right up here. And then last thing we'll need to do is connect these 2 points with a straight line and draw arrows at the end of the line. Okay. Now this does have a negative slope, negative 3x, so our line should be decreasing just like it is. All right, let's look at the graphs of horizontal and vertical lines, and so these are going to be a little bit different. You'll notice here I only have one variable. In example 1, I only have an x. So I'm going to, in this case, pick values for y, negative 1, 0, and 1. I'm just picking those because they're easy. And if I come to this equation, x equals 2, there's nowhere to plug in a value for y, so there's no algebra to do here. All I know is no matter what y is, x is always going to be 2. So no algebra to do. Basically, x is always 2, doesn't matter what y is. So these are the points 2, negative 1, 2, 0, and 2, 1. So if I go to graph this, to graph these points, okay, here's x is 2, and here's 1 and negative 1. I get 2, negative 1. Right here, 2, 0, and 2, 1. You can't see that 1 point right there. And so this is a vertical line through the point, through the value x is 2. So if you're missing a y variable, you have a vertical line. Okay, so let's look at the second example. In this case, instead of missing a y, we're missing an x. We only have y equals. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to plug in values, but in this case for x, so negative 1, 0, 1 again. And there's nothing to plug in into my equation, y equals negative 3. So there's no algebra here. All I know is that no matter what x is, y is always negative 3. So these are my points. And you can probably guess, since we already graphed a vertical line, that this one is going to be a horizontal line. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my line and then plot these points. So I need negative 1, 1, 2, 3. That's negative 3. Here's negative 1, and here's x is 1. So I have negative 1, negative 3, 0, 3, and 1 negative. I'm sorry, 0, negative 3, and 1, negative 3. I'm going to draw a line through those 3 points, and you'll see that we have a horizontal line through those 3 points. So if you're missing an x variable, you just have y, you have the equation of a horizontal line.